Hey everybody, welcome to this edition of the FCV LB Celeste podcast. This is the Messi Ballon d'Or edition of the podcast, LM8 edition of the podcast. It was one of the grandest nights ever. The football will remember for this for a long time. Let's go. Of course, Messi arrived at the Ballon d'Or gala like a king. The world media, the football world, all eyes are on him as he entered the gala. Of course, his famous bodyguard Yasin is shepherding him through the crowd into the auditorium, and all eyes were on him. He entered like a king. And of course, we all expected him to win, but you never know until the official announcement takes place. And here's the comparison of the top three candidates for this season's the 2023 edition of the Ballon d'Or. Haaland, of course, 57 games, scored 56 goals, had 10 assists. Messi, 54 games, 38 goals, 25 assists. Mbappe, 56 games, 54 goals, and 12 assists. All three really had a marvelous season in their own individual rights. So I mean, really, you couldn't have gone wrong if Haaland or Mbappe had won. Just if you just went by these statistics, right? But of course, Ballon d'Or is not just about statistics, right? Messi has had statistics for over 15 years, but he didn't always win the Ballon d'Or in every season, right? So Ballon d'Or comes down to winning big trophies, scoring big goals, in big moments, and so on, as you've seen with Benzema in the last year's Ballon d'Or. Now, it came down to basically Messi and Haaland. Of course, Haaland won the treble with Manchester City. Manchester City is a super club with a tremendous amount of talent, and of course, coached by legendary Pep Guardiola. And of course, Messi really won this Ballon d'Or because the World Cup trophy. Now, the question I have is there's many people questioning the Ballon d'Or award to Messi because Haaland had scored more goals. He had played for Manchester City, won the European treble. The question I ask is, you take away Haaland from Manchester City, do they win these three trophies? The chances are still yes. They still win those three trophies even without Haaland because they came close even without Haaland before, right? They have a super squad. But you take away Messi from Argentina, does Argentina win the World Cup? The answer is absolutely no. And the performance that Messi had shown in the World Cup is legendary. It's going to go down as one of the greatest World Cups in history, World Cup performances in history. And Messi was at the center of it and the linchpin for driving Argentina to the World Cup and one of the most legendary victories in the World Cup. Now, the moment came, David Beckham got on the stage, and of course he called Messi's name as he walked up to the podium. It was chills through the body for most of Messi fans, right? This might be his last Ballon d'Or. He's 36 years old. This is maybe the last time we see him on that stage, or maybe not. You don't count him out. And of course, he went up there and he hugged David Beckham, um, and then he got a standing ovation from the entire crowd. Messi is one of the few footballers, maybe ever, to get multiple standing ovations at any ceremony. But I think this is the third time he has gotten it at the Ballon d'Or ceremony. Of course, on the front row you have Gundogan, you have Rodri, you have Diaz, you have Mbappe, you have Bernardo Silva, you have Haaland, and so on and so on. And of course, all the legendary coaches and football players in the crowd as well, giving him an extremely, really nice ovation. I think it was well deserving, right? This is the eighth Ballon d'Or that I think nobody is going to come close to touching in the history of football. Forget about it. Now, here's the final ranking of the Ballon d'Or. Of course, Messi came in first, Haaland second, Mbappe third, Kevin De Bruyne fourth, Rodri fifth, Vinicius sixth, Julian Alvarez seventh, Victor Osimhen eighth, Bernardo Silva ninth, and Luka Modric capping off the top 10. Now, Messi has 8 Ballon d'Ors, spanning 3 decades, spanning 3 different clubs, spanning 2 different continents. Is that something that anybody's going to ever come close to touching? Ask yourself this question. It is probably a record that's never going to be broken. There are many records in sports, in many different sports, but 8 Ballon d'Ors. Think about it. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nobody's going to come close to this in the history of sports. Some of the football players don't even play for 8 years, if you think about it. Let alone being at the top of the sport for 8 years. It's nearly an impossible task. It's not going to happen. And of course, um, Ronaldo is with 5 Ballon d'Ors. He's 3 behind now. He was 3 behind 10 years ago, and after 10 years, he's still 3 behind. Rounding off with 3 Platini, and then 3 Johan Cruyff, and then Van Basten had 3 as well. So Messi is a completely on a pedestal of his own. Nobody's even close at this point. Now, there were some questions, some things that Messi said. I thought it's kind of interesting during the ceremony, and of course after the ceremony. They asked him, are all the Ballon d'Ors, what he thought about them. He said, all are special. All are special balls, but I've always said that the most important are the team prizes and the individual prizes, and that thanks to the team prizes. He values team. He still, after 8 Ballon d'Ors, he still gives higher priority to team prizes, team trophies. And consummate player, consummate captain. And then they asked him, who do you thank? He said, I thank everyone from all the countries who supported us in the World Cup and the tournament. And I've always wanted that World Cup, thank God. So World Cup was basically his highest priority, and he got it. And this Ballon d'Or is really a kind of a icing on the cake, cream on top of the World Cup. And the World Cup is the one that made him happy and complete. He completed football. And of course, in the press, they asked him, the question was, is Lionel Messi the greatest footballer of all time? Of course, Messi, he kind of laughed at it and he said, I don't know if I'm the best in history. It's not something I ask myself. So look at the humility of this footballer. I mean, he achieved so much. 8 Ballon d'Ors, 6 Golden Boots, um, 2 times the Laureus Sportsman of the Year. He has won 44 team trophies. He's won the World Cup, Copa America, Finalissima. He's won the Olympic gold. He's won the Under 21 World Cup, and he still doesn't consider himself as the best in history. He said he doesn't. It's not something he asks himself. He doesn't look in the mirror and says, "Hey, am I the best in the world?" It doesn't come to his mind. Look at the humility. This is not normal, folks. This is not normal. He's not just a great athlete. He's not just the greatest footballer of all time, but he's also a great human being. That's what most people don't realize. And of course, they asked him about Barcelona, and he still loves Barcelona. Here's what he said. He said, Barca is my home. I love this club. I love Barca fans, and I'd be very grateful to return there again. Of course, he's in talking about not in playing capacity, but returning there, um, and getting a farewell or having a chance to say goodbye to the fans and the club itself in a proper manner, which never happened. I hope that happens. But he said he still watches Barcelona when he can. So he loves Barcelona, and it's amazing that some of the Barca fans, you know, didn't still didn't think that he loved Barcelona. I've seen many tweets, many things, but it's just unbelievable. But he definitely loves Barcelona. Barca is the club of his life. That's the end of it. That's the end of conversation. Of course, he got on the stage, and one of the sweetest moments in the ceremony was when his sons Tiago, Matteo, and Ciro got on the stage and got to experience the Ballon d'Or, the 8th Ballon d'Or trophy with their father, waving at the at the crowd, and just, I mean, can you imagine being Messi's sons? What they're going through and what their experience is. They think this is normal. Of course, this is not. But when they grow up, I think they'll realize the significance of what their father has accomplished, and it is significant. It's not going to Another Messi is not going to come. Maybe in a millennium, maybe never. And of course, uh, I'm not gonna go without talking about Argentina, my world champions. Um, Got to take a picture on the stage, of course. Um, Julian Alvarez, Lautaro, Emi Martinez, and Messi were there, all four. Of course, Emi Martinez won the Yashin Trophy as the best goalkeeper in the world. I think it's well deserving for what he did at the World Cup. The save he made against Colo, those penalty kick saves, those penalty shootouts, and making big saves in key moments to keep Argentina or preserving Argentina's lead at times. It was amazing. It was one of the most amazing performances. So well deserved. Congratulations to Emi Martinez, one of my favorite footballers of all time. My heart goes to you, and I'll always love you from the bottom of my heart. And of course, Messi there, smiling. This is a picture for the ages. And then capping off, of course, Barca's Aitana Bonmati won the Ballon d'Or from the women's side, and here's a nice picture, both of them together. Of course, they know each other from the Barca days. Messi knows her from when she was a very young girl, playing in the Barca academy, and so they know each other. And of course, it's once again Barca, Barca in my blood. Barca wins the Ballon d'Ors, basically. Messi and another Barca uh, Femini wins the Ballon d'Or. This is the third consecutive year that Barca Femini has won the Ballon d'Or. Again, um, Barca got all bases covered. And of course, after the ceremony, Messi quickly got on the plane on his way back to Miami. And of course, in the plane, he had a chance to take some pictures. Of course, on the left, he's taking a picture with Jorge Mas, the Inter Miami owner. Right in front of them is the Ballon d'Or ball. And of course, on the right, you have Yasin, his bodyguard, who's had a chance to be really good. I think they're good friends now. They're more than just, Yasin is more than just a bodyguard. They're very good friends. The Ballon d'Or is right in front of them. This is a very special moment as well. So once Messi has got back to Miami, his teammates gave him a big celebration in the morning, as you can see, with the symbolic number 8 there. So Inter Miami and Messi are engraved now. It's history now. We're done with this edition of the Ballon d'Or 2023. And who knows? Messi might win LM9. You never count him out. We got Copa America coming up in 2024. And never say never, right? And with that, I'm going to leave you this edition of the podcast. Take care.